All right, everyone, the trade wars continue. The United States versus the world. Supposedly, we are the bad guy in this particular arrangement, even though these countries were already tariffing us, generally speaking, and we're the only ones that engaged in free trade, for the most part. Yeah, we're the bad guy. We're not supposed to do what you're doing. It's basically like somebody with a Marlboro hanging out of their mouth lecturing their kid about not smoking. That's basically the petulance of many other countries right now. And a handful of other countries are chuckling their ass off because they don't engage in this behavior, realize we're justified, and actually give a damn about us. You should, considering we guard your shipping lanes. Just saying, we could always call those ships back to port. Yeah, we let the Chinese guard you. See what happens. They're idiots. The Canadian government. I'm not talking about Canadians in general. I have no problem with Canadians. Pretty cool. Uh, your government is run by morons. Their latest tactic, above and beyond increasing other tariffs and stuff like that, it's like two eagles grappling in the sky that are both going to bash their heads on the ground at some point because they're too busy fucking to realize that they're approaching the boulders down below. It's kind of funny. Link in the description archive, of course. Canada's new tactic is to try to pass a law to ban U.S. users from Pornhub. Now, number one, this won't work. VPNs exist. So people can just get a Canadian VPN. I mean, if you're, going to goon or something like that, then, you're a coomer. You'll still have access. Also, I believe pornography is fairly ubiquitous on the internet. I'm pretty sure it's basically everywhere. There are hundreds and hundreds of sites that cater solely to it in a professional sense. There are plenty of sites where pornography is freely posted. Look at, the random page on 4chan. A more wretched hive of scum and villainy you'll never find. It's kind of dicey. In between the log posts, though, there's a lot of post pictures of your ex's titties, post pictures of skinny chicks, post pictures of fat chicks, stuff like that. Post dick pics. It happens, it's literally constant. Can't be stopped. Do you realize how much pornography hasn't even been posted publicly that exists on like USB drives all around the world? It's got to be in the quadrillions of gigabytes, beyond, well, probably the quadrillion of quadrillions of gigabytes. The internet has three very popular things on it: pornography, and people bitching, and a slurry of other stuff too that's actually more fun to look at. Myself do not really utilize pornography. But it's there. I mean, anyone under the sun can find it. It's not going to go anywhere. You think that banning Pornhub for US users ineffectively, by the way, is actually a threat? Are you insane? This one site that we happen to run, we're going to impotently block 5% of the people that are actually using it because the rest of them probably are using a VPN anyway. That makes a lot of sense. What a big trade threat. Canada is threatening to cut off a handful of technologically illiterate people from being able to look at titties. Wow. This is their idea of a diplomatic strategy, by the way. This is their socioeconomic policy. It seems like everything the Canadian government is doing is completely foolish. I mean, it has been for a while, but I mean, even more than lately. It appears to be basically just tomfoolery, like, hey, they're acting like Republicans. Hey, I know that I can probably get something accomplished, but instead I'm going to sit here and cut my own dick off. That's Justin Trudeau in a nutshell. What are you doing, dude? You all right? Do we actually need to invade Canada and turn it into a state? Because, man, it seems like the people there might need to be liberated from their particular government. This proposal is ludicrous. It makes no sense at all. Like, this is the sort of thing that George W. would propose. Wow, we're going to screw them Arabs. We're going to cut off their access to American titty. Great. You're accomplishing a lot of things there. You're really solving a problem. When I saw this, And multiple people have DM'd me about this. I'm not surprised about it. I'm like, are you insane? Don't answer the question. Again, one of those rhetorical moments. Trudeau's insane, quite clearly. Their incoming PM or Presidente or whatever the fuck they term him, he's crazy. I've seen some of his comments. It appears that their legislature is run mainly by insane asylum members. It's a madhouse. That's not the way you run a trade war. And number two, who gives a fuck? Um, this makes no sense. Moralistic individuals in the United States, meanwhile, wrongfully celebrating this as though it matters. I've seen some people say, well, this is actually a good thing. Americans will not look at porn. How many websites do you think post that sort of material? Is it A, Pornhub, B, bunch of them, or C, fucking thousands of them? And that's just for the professional content. And people have pornography from exes all over the place, you know, and make it on a daily basis. Dude, today, 20, 30 million nude selfies will be taken just in interpersonal settings. Today, hundreds and hundreds of millions of videos will be made professionally. Today, many, many hundreds of thousands, if not literally millions of people will go nude or do lewd stuff on webcams, on various sites. It is unstoppable. The fact is that people are horny and they like sexual stuff. It's a biological drive. It's not going to go anywhere. If Pornhub were to completely go black, let's say the Canadian government says, okay, we're just going to shut it down entirely. Fuck this shit. And deprive Americans of their porn and retribution. It wouldn't matter. It would make absolutely no difference. It's a drop in a bucket in a goddamn lake. That's the amount that's actually there. By the way, I am happy to report to you, lest you find me a coomer, I have never actually visited Pornhub. I have never looked up anything about it except for this particular news story. Because I'm like, God damn, get a life. Deal with the fucking tariff wars. Just you're fighting a losing battle, dude, though. The economic, the disparate economic situation in the U.S. and Canada means that you lost before you even began. It's not going to be a thing. No offense, again, to Canadians themselves, but your government has been tariffing my country for years and years and years at an excessive rate in order to undergo protectionism over several niche industries. The United States is simply saying, we've had enough of this. We want free trade. Sort of the thing that we were promoting when we were founded was the whole idea. But all of a sudden, of course, we're the bad guy. We're the evil ones. So you're trying to deprive us of vaginas and titties. Oh, God. What horror. How will the world ever recover? Come on. This is on par with, like, the Patriot Act or something like that. It's that stupid. That's about all. Peace out.